All right, listen up. Listen up. This is a little bit of advice from somebody that used to live in active addiction. This guy right here. Yeah. I caused a lot of havoc. I am not proud of any of it, but I was able to thankfully push through. And here I am today, man. You know, all I have is today. Random fly flying around, dude. Anyway, yeah, so all I have is today, okay? And if I'm blessed with tomorrow, then I will deal with tomorrow, okay? Beautiful English, right? Deal with tomorrow. Anyway, here we go. So here's a little bit of advice, all right? If you have if you're living with a loved one, someone that you're close to, or have a good friend, or you just know somebody that's in the midst of their active addiction, their alcoholism, to me, you know, I guess, like, I don't know if I should say one of the worst things you should do, but something that does not feel good to somebody on the receiving end, somebody in active addiction, right, is being judged or being shamed, right? The title of this video is Avoid Judging or Shaming a Loved One in Active Addiction. Nobody likes that, you know? Nobody likes that. That's not a good feeling, to be judged or shamed for something that you're doing. You know, in active addiction, of course, I had shame, I had guilt, right? Because the things I was doing to obtain money, or my particular DOC, my drugs, the next fix, I wasn't happy about that. But I was so desperate all the time that whoever was in my path was gonna get it. I'm not talking about fighting them, nothing like that. I was never a violent guy, but if I could get something from you that I could pawn or trade, or even some cash, right? A debit card, something like that, something of monetary value, right? I would have got it somehow. I would have found a way. If for some reason I was never able to get what I needed, then you know, I would go on to the next person. For me, I never stole stuff from a store like Boosted. That wasn't one of my hustles. It was just I just anybody that was around me, you know, anybody that was around me, I'd find a way to manipulate the situation and somehow just be able to get what I need. Anyway, so looking at it from the outside, you know, with a clear state of mind, you know, I'm trying to take myself back to during active addiction. One of the worst things that was ever said to me, I'm not going to say who it was, but I was told that I was the weakest person that they've ever seen or met, you know, something like that. And I would have to agree. That didn't feel good. That upset me, you know, and that just fueled my dirtbaggery. That fueled the anger, and that just fueled the manipulation side of me to want to get back, right? To get my get back, if you will. Get some payback, you know? It's like, okay, I got you. Thank you. Appreciate it, you know? Appreciate the kind words. Now, look what's going to happen, right? So, it doesn't feel good, you know? That is only going to push the addict or loved one, alcoholic, away, right? Or just upset them straight up. They're already in a situation that they think they can't get themselves out of, right? They're pretty much waking up with their back against the wall, and they are living each day over and over, just like Groundhog's Day. You know, go to sleep hammered, wake up dope sick, wake up in withdrawal with the tremors, right? The DTs if you're an alcoholic. So you're already faced with the pressure of doing whatever it takes, you know, just to get high, just to feel better, you know, just to feel better. So knowing all of that, the last thing that we wanted to hear, the last thing I wanted to hear or feel, right, is just to be judged or put down verbally, right? I understand things could get heated, like heat of the moment during an argument, or you see something that you don't like, you know, an addict, whatever. And I understand, you know, things could escalate verbally, right? That can lead to verbal abuse, and that could just lead to so many things, man, depending on who the person is in the midst of their addiction. You know, things could get violent. You know, you could set them off. They could be experiencing all the shame and guilt for days and days and months, even years in my situation, you know, that, and then one day they could just snap, you know, they could just snap. You know, there's ways to go about communicating with a loved one. If you're trying to help them, the best thing that you could do is educate yourself. Educate yourself. Not only find ways on, not only to find coping mechanisms for yourself, which obviously you should do, but educate yourself, do your research as to what said addict or alcoholic is hooked on, right? For myself, opiates, that was my thing. So, looking at it from the outside, if I was dealing with somebody that was addicted to opiates, I would definitely do my research, you know, whatever it is, benzos, blah, 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 right? I would do my research as to why they're in that situation, why they're doing what they do, you know what I mean? Research their behavior, behavioral patterns, and all that. Just basically do your research, educate yourself on what's making them tick, you know, why are they doing what they're doing? Why is this particular drug making them act this way? Do your research. If you want to help an addict, you know, do your research. You know, you got to take care of yourself as well, especially your mental health. Especially your mental health. But when approaching somebody in active addiction, you know, and you want to help them, you know, instead of shaming them, pointing fingers, all that stuff, all that negative stuff, just say, how can I help you how can I help you be better? How can I help you get better, feel better? How can I help you towards recovery, right? When it comes to boundaries, research boundaries, healthy boundaries. You know, that's a whole nother video. I don't think I've ever spoke on boundaries. Maybe I have, but just basically say, how can I help you towards recovery, towards your recovery, and see what they say. Do some research on recovery. Do some research as to, you know, certain things that are available in your city or town, right? If insurance is an issue, look into state-funded stuff. Look into detox. Look into rehabs. Okay? But yeah, this is going to be a quick one. Avoid judging or shaming a loved one in active addiction, because it's not going to end well. It doesn't feel good. And approach the situation as if you're playing chess. You know, in recovery, we have a saying, play the tape through, right? play the tape through. You could play the positive tape through. You could play the negative tape through. So, from an outsider's perspective, by playing the tape through, when you're trying to help somebody, you know, you could say, hey, if I do these things, or if I say these things are going to happen, right? If I don't do these things, then those things are going to happen. So, yeah, I wanted to provide some value. You know, I wanted to put another video out there, and yeah, man, it's serious. It's serious. It's serious for all parties involved, right? Avoid judging or shaming. You don't want to set your loved one off. You know, they could be just fed up, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And ultimately, they can make a split decision to just end everything. It gets serious out there. It is serious. Educate yourself. Find new approaches in your mannerisms. Find new approaches in everything, right? It's a big chess-like situation. If you guys have any questions, reach out. You know, reach out, man. Thanks for listening.